The Bitcoin ETFs are already breaking records in the traditional finance market. And even though the price of Bitcoin has sold off about 15% since the approvals, it looks like today the price is starting to inch its way back up. The price of Bitcoin is sitting at about $43,419 at the time of recording, and it's up about 1.5% for the past 24 hours, with Ethereum being up 3%, and Solana and Cardano doing almost just as good. Like I said, the price of Bitcoin did take about a 15% dip after the announcement happened, and since then we've traded sideways a bit, but it looks like we're starting to climb just a little bit, and so far we've regained about 4.6% of those losses. Unfortunately, it looks like the RSI here is getting a little bit close to the overbought territory, and it's climbing significantly faster than the price is, meaning that it might actually get overbought here and run out of steam. Also, we're running up against the bottom of a significant line of resistance that we've bounced off of quite a bit here in the past. It's been resistance a few times and it's been support, and I think we're probably going to have a little bit of trouble getting over it right now. But even if we do get over it, here we have another level of resistance at about $44,000. If we can get through this price range here, though, and break above about $44,500, then maybe we will have gained back enough steam to continue to the upside, and maybe we can head back up towards about $50,000. But in my opinion, I think we're still a little bit overextended here, because if you go out to longer time frames, you can see that we still have this bearish divergence that hasn't played out on the daily chart, which can also be seen here on the weekly chart. And with the weekly chart still just now coming possibly out of the overbought territory, but really still being up in it, and the MACD curving to the downside, not to mention this shooting star that we did actually put in at the end of last week, plus the MACD looking like it's going to curve to the downside as we've just been rejected off of this previous level of resistance, or this trend line that we've been interacting with since the beginning of last year. I think we still could have some downward pressure to go, and hopefully we will find support down here at about $37,000. But usually whenever we bounce off of this top white line, we come back all the way down to this white line on the bottom. And depending on how fast we get down there, it could bring us down all the way to $31,500 if it happens in the next couple of weeks. And that could line up perfectly with the Fed meeting, which is actually coming up in 14 days, which is exactly 2 weeks from now. And if the Fed says something bullish or says that they might do a pivot in their next meeting, then we could see a jump, and Bitcoin could head back to the top of this range again, bouncing off of the white line again, or hopefully even breaking through it. It's actually pretty likely that they will say something bullish like that in their meeting, because there's a 65% chance, according to this, that they're going to do a rate cut in the meeting after this one in 2 weeks. But for now, there's not really any catalyst to send us up over the next couple of weeks that I can think of, unless the selling pressure from GBTC stops and the inflows actually start to take effect into the ETFs, causing the ETF issuers to actually have to buy Bitcoin and drive up the market cap. According to Bloomberg, we did have Bitcoin topping $4.6 billion in their groundbreaking opening day, and $4.6 billion of flows through these Bitcoin ETFs was actually record-setting, but unfortunately for the price, it wasn't all inflows, and a lot of people were actually exiting from GBTC, as you can see indicated by this post by Rand Neuner. He says Bitcoin price is dumping as people are dumping their GBTC shares. GBTC held $25 billion worth of Bitcoin that has been locked up for years with no option to be sold. As soon as the redemption option opened, for the first time, people are starting to exit. As they exit, Bitcoin must be sold on the market, and now they're taking a discount again. At the same time, we had Elizabeth Warren coming out and saying that the SEC was wrong, and of course she's going to say that because she's paid by the banks, and Bitcoin is a threat to the banks. So of course they paid her to say that if the SEC is going to let crypto burrow even deeper into our financial system, then it's more urgent than ever that crypto follow basic anti-money laundering rules. Luckily, Community Notes called her out and said that an American court decided approving Bitcoin ETFs is lawful. The D.C. Circuit Courts of Appeals overturned the SEC's rejection of Grayscale's bid to convert its trust into an exchange-traded fund. I think that they should have added something to these community notes saying that maybe Congress should adhere to basic anti-money laundering rules, or the companies that actually fund Congress and lobby for them. because she's trying to put all of the blame on cryptocurrency as if illegal activities don't happen with the dollar. But luckily, like I've said in the past, Elizabeth Warren isn't powerful enough to stop Bitcoin. And her coming after crypto and hating on it just makes me like it that much more because I really can't stand Elizabeth Warren. As if Elizabeth Warren's attacks against cryptocurrency weren't enough, though, on the day of the actual ETF's approvals, Vanguard also came out issuing a statement saying that spot Bitcoin ETFs will not be available for purchase on the Vanguard platform. Their perspective is that these products do not align with their offer, focused on asset classes such as equities, bonds, and cash, which Vanguard views as the public building blocks of a well-balanced long-term investment portfolio. In reality, as I posted over on X, Vanguard just won't let you invest in Bitcoin through them because they think that you're too dumb to make your own decisions. Vanguard's going to be missing out on millions of dollars, probably billions of dollars in fees, and it's just a matter of time until their ship goes down. So rest in peace, Vanguard. Over the long weekend, Bitcoin continued to trade sideways, probably because we were waiting to see if there was going to be continued selling pressure when the market opened again today. Then this morning we got news, unfortunately, that Grayscale has moved another 9,000 Bitcoin to exchanges in preparation for sale. Also, Celsius has transferred 125 million worth of Ethereum to exchanges as FTX and Alameda are dumping. So maybe we will continue to see a sell-off here, and like I said, if we don't break above about $44,500 and we get rejected here, I'm looking at about $37,500 as a possible price target, because after all, that is only about a 23% dip from the actual top on the announcement of the Bitcoin ETF approvals, and 20% is pretty normal for a retracement in the middle of a bull market. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that the GBTC sell-off is going to continue having downward pressure on the price of Bitcoin? Or do you think that the ETF issuers and retail investors that are FOMOing into the market now are going to buy up all of that supply and continue pushing the price higher? Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But most importantly, don't forget to have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.